Hi everyone, welcome to Club 2, Episode 5 of Rolling in the Isles, an FM20 British Isles Journeyman series with me, the United City FM. Current form hasn't been the best. The most recent results have been a draw, a loss and a draw, which haven't been brilliant, to be honest. But at this point in the season, it doesn't really matter too much. You can see that we are still sitting top of the best of the rest, as it were, since the break in the Welsh League. And we've only been playing the bottom half teams in the last few games, just because that's how the Welsh League works. So we're sitting on 39 points, which is the same as the two above us. But of course, their last sort of 8 games or so, 9 games have been against harder opposition than we've had. So it's a bit misleading, really. But we've done pretty well in the last few games, apart from the last literally 2, when I would have preferred a better result here and there. But you can see that run of form wasn't too bad. So we've got the last game of the season against Newtown. They're sitting currently in 8th, one place below us. They can equal our points if they beat us today. I'm hoping for that not to be the case. I want to really cement that 7th place if we can. You can see that the club wage structure has changed slightly. We've had a couple of contract renewals that have accepted slightly lower wages, etc. So that's changed the outlook of that slightly for next season, which is really positive. You can see that overall we're still in debt, which is a problem. Not quite sure how we get out of that. We haven't got the ability to sell many players. But what we can do is just keep working on this wage budget and try and get it down as much as we can to then hopefully find a way to get into some profit on a weekly, monthly basis. But anyway, that's for the long term. That's for next season and beyond. For this season, as I say, we got one more game against Newtown. One more game to impress me this season for this current 11 that we've been using fairly regularly. A lot of these periphery players will probably end up going. I've signed a couple of them to longer term deals just to give ourselves a sense that we've got some basis to move forward from. The other thing that I wanted to tell you about actually was I took a little bit of time recently just to when TNS got the title handed to them, the New Saints, when they won the title, I went into their squad and had a look around a little bit just to see what we were up against in terms of the team that have run away with it. And there are 1 or 2 players in here that are very good in comparison to what we've got, but not many are that much better. So if we go and have a look a little bit, so we got this guy, for example, Wilson, who's got 16 in 32 games and is their main striker. It's not an amazing striker, is it? And I think we've got a reasonable one coming in. Obviously, what Wilson has got is some good physicals and some good mentals, but his actual technical abilities aren't great. I think if we immediately go and have a look, you'll notice that the mentals and physicals are different. But if we go and have a look at the guy we're bringing in, you can see that in terms of technical terms, he's better, and he's got some key attributes that are decent in the mental and physical side. So I hope that we've found a good one for next season. So if we go back in and have a look around as well at some other places, we've got Weirdo. He's played 30 games for them in their right back spot. But again, he's nothing really to write home about. If we go and have a look at our guy, who is Tatum, then, you can see that Tatum's not the best player in the world by any stretch, but there's not an awful lot of difference, really. So all I'm trying to get to, I think, is that it won't take too much for our side to start moving up the table a little bit if we can get a couple of really key people in. There was one guy in the midfield that I thought looked pretty decent. Is it Sturk? No, it wasn't Sturk. It was another guy. Jenkins, maybe? No, not Jenkins. Anyway, there's one guy in here somewhere. I'm not 100% sure which guy it was that had got like a 15 passing and a couple of other 14s in his attributes, which I thought was a little bit better than what we had. But other than that, I don't think it's that unattainable to suggest that we can improve our lot in terms of the type of player we have at Connors Quay. And see if in next season we can move into this top 6 and the top half of the table for the split when that happens. So yeah, I'm reasonably happy that we can achieve something here, given a little bit of time to do it. But today is our last game of this particular season. Newtown provide the opposition, so let's go and have a look at the team. So you can see that it's the normal team that we've been putting out recently. The main starting 11 is fairly similar to what we've always been putting out, and similarly for the bench really. So it's Brass in goal, Tatum at right back, Owens at left back, Gardner and Edwards in central defence, Smith, Harrison, McBurney in central midfield, Sarmento on the right, Parry on the left, and Graham up top with a bench of Hope, Harden, Roberts, Rogers, Edwards, Gareth and Barrett. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So as a last opportunity to motivate them, I've suggested to them that this is a great opportunity to show the pundits that they've been right to back you up, which they've been doing recently and giving us some good credit for what we've done. And there's the motivation factor. That's the sort of response I was looking for. And that's a really good positive sign. We finished the season at home, which is really positive, in front of our own home support. We're in our red kit as normal, and Newtown are in the yellow. So let's see what the first highlight brings and see whether we can get off to a positive start and dictate the play a little bit in this final fixture of this current season. We're at 17 minutes. It's speeding through the first half with no highlights so far. You can see that we've had a couple of shots at goal but nothing on target. And here we go for the first opportunity for a highlight. Down our right hand side, the attempted cross gets blocked, and Newtown pick up the loose ball and run at us down this left-hand side with Smith. Goes all the way into the box and has an opportunity at goal, but the goalkeeper stands up well to him and gathers the ball comfortably. But that was a very, very disappointing response defensively. He ran straight through us as if we weren't there. But we have another opportunity now down this right-hand side. Tatum onto Sarmento. Sarmento gets inside the area, crosses it in to Graham, and he has a decent effort at goal. But again, the goalkeeper does very well and parries it away, and they get the ball clear. A goal kick into their defensive area goes over the top, but we win that loose ball. And again, it's down to the right-hand side for Sarmento. Challenges his fullback to run with him, which he does, but the ball gets passed back to Tatum. A blocked pass again, and again Newtown pick up the loose ball, but good tackle in there by Smith, and we regain possession and get an opportunity to build up again from the back. Goes right the way back to Brass in goal, and see if we can build up the play and get it into a position where we can do something positive with it. It's down our left-hand side with Parry. Had the overlap fullback, but it decides to go straight through the middle to Graham. Graham with a shot, and it goes narrowly wide. Good pass out from the wide left through to the striking position. It was an opportunity there to go wide left again and use the fullback, but he chose the striking option instead, and it gave us an opportunity which unfortunately we didn't quite take. And that brings to the end of the first half, really, with a little bit of stuff to talk about in terms of some good movement here and there, and a good couple of challenges when we were facing some problems in our defensive area, but the occasional problem that we weren't quite able to cope with the pace of their striking options when they get through on goal. So something to look out for. Maybe we need to increase the pace of our side a little bit in the transfer window maybe, but yeah, that's for another day. Tell the team that we're disappointed with them is the response from my assistant. I think I will do that. We built them up at the beginning of the game and they haven't really delivered so far. It hasn't been terrible. We've had a couple of decent chances, but it hasn't been as good as it should be. So that's fired them up and motivated them. Let's see whether that can translate to a better second half performance. See, for Newtown, they've got a couple of yellow cards in their defensive area. They've had to make a substitution because of an injury, so all of that disrupts them slightly, and that helps. Let's see whether we can make it count. Down our left hand side with Owens, cross comes in, but there's nobody on the end of the cross, but Sarmento picks up the loose ball and we keep it nicely in midfield. Can we find the elusive shot? We can, but again it's high and wide from Parry and didn't really trouble the goalkeeper at all. He didn't even have to move to try and even clamber across there. It was a little bit disappointing, but that seems to be how this particular match is going. The quality on the finishing isn't there. So 74 minutes gone. We'll check out where we are in terms of our player ratings and our conditioning. Conditioning's not too bad, actually. We get a decent amount of break between each of our games to recover, so that's positive. But we are going to make a couple of changes here just because I think it's needed in the final third specifically, we haven't had anything from Graham, so he's come off, and Parry will come off and Gareth will come on that left-hand side, even though he's more right-footed. And then we've got to take something out of this section, really. We either take away the yellow card or we take away the slightly lower rating. And this time, I think I'll go with a slightly lower rating and bring Rodgers into the central midfield area. So those are the changes that we make. Brings us to the last sort of 10 minutes of the game plus a bit of added time. Can we have one last opportunity that we can make the most of? Goes up to Barrett, Harris, onto McBurney running through. Can he? Oh, is that a penalty? Flag goes up. The referee claims it's a penalty, and that's really encouraging from McBurney. We haven't seen it often enough that he makes those runs from midfield, but this time he did, and he gets to take the penalty. And it's saved by the goalkeeper down to the goalkeeper's right. It was a decently placed penalty kick right in the corner, but possibly not the power on it, and the goalkeeper gets to it. But it's our corner kick. Corner goes into the middle of the penalty box. We regain possession on the edge of the box with the loose ball. Gardner with it, our central defender. Couldn't quite get the cross in, and now they get a chance to break on us. Newtown down their left-hand side with Wood. We've got a runner going with him, which is positive, and the runner, which was Rodgers, gets his foot in. And it goes off for maybe a goal kick, I'm not sure. But whichever way it was, it didn't lead to a highlight. And that was good recovery play. And it looks like we're going to be going to a slightly disappointing 0-0 draw. And that is the case. You can see that in terms of the game statistics, it was very even, really, wasn't it? There was nobody really shone in that particular match. Their goalkeeper played quite well. We had some good defensive options that played quite well. So in the end, it was a fairly disappointing 0-0. We won't be too hard on them, though. We don't want them going away for the summer thinking that it was a big problem. We'll just say that they were unlucky and leave it there for now. And that's motivated a couple of them, which is positive. So there you go. This is the last table of the season. You can see that even though we got 40 points and the team above us got 39, we don't move up because it's obviously swayed by the fact that we've been playing the lesser sides for the last 10 games, so that's why we can't move up. But we did finish the top of the sort of second half of the table, which is positive, and it's something to build on in next season. And I really do think we can, with the right additions. I think this group of players with a couple of additions can start to move higher into this top half of the table, and that has to be the plan for next season. So I hope you'll come back and join me for that. I'm going to go off on a big summer transfer challenging spree. I would imagine it's going to be quite difficult to balance the books and get a couple of players out and a couple of players in, but I'll try my best. And I will bring you back for the next episode to give you a roundup of what we've been up to and an introduction to the next season and see what our objectives are for them. So hope you're enjoying the series. I hope you're enjoying this second club in Connor's Quay Nomads. Having moved on from Cobb Ramblers, we'll check out what they're doing in the next season as well, just to see how they're coping without us. But until next time, that's going to be it for today. So thanks very much for joining me. I hope you're enjoying the series. If you are, why not subscribe to the channel? Keep up to date with the videos. If you like this particular episode, why not click a like on it for me? That helps me get seen by other people. If you're playing Football Manager yourself, I hope you're having a great time doing it. Let me know how your save is getting on in the comments below. Always interested to hear your stories. But until next time and next season, take care of yourself. I will see you soon, and bye for now.